Hey guys, welcome to another VintageGenetics video where we will bring back classic bodybuilding to the modern stage. So today we are going to do a back thickness workout, and there already is a back width workout on the channel, and you can see that if you click on the button right here. So today is all about thickness, and in that we include the lower back, the middle back, and even the traps. So basically in this picture, a back double biceps, you see that for a complete back you don't really need just a V-taper, which would be the back width, but you also need those lower back muscles forming the Christmas tree and the overall thickness in the middle of the back and the traps to balance everything out. So we start right off with the T-bar row, a very good exercise for back thickness, and I like to use small plates so I can get a deeper stretch and contraction. And a great way to figure out what weight you should use is to do pause reps, as I'm doing right here. I'm pausing the rep right at the most difficult point, squeezing my back, and this takes away a lot of the momentum and makes it a lot more difficult. So this weight would be the weight you're at least safe with. Moving on to the second exercise, your lower back should already be pretty fatigued doing those pause reps we just did, and I actually recommend doing pause reps at the last set of your first exercise when doing back thickness workouts. So now your back feels full and pumped already, and now it's time to hit it from a different angle using the Smith machine. And I like using the Smith machine because of how well I'm able to squeeze my back on it, like much better than a regular free weight. And you really only have to use light weights. The lighter the weights, the better you'll be able to squeeze your back at the top. And also make sure you stretch all the way to the bottom to flush your back with fresh blood. Now this is an easy transition to the third exercise, and all you have to do is change your hand position as I'm doing right here. And this is an underhand bent over row, and it really turns the exercise into something completely different. And the squeeze I personally get during this exercise is insane, but make sure you consciously contract your back hard at the top to get the most out of this exercise. And again, the Smith machine is the better option in my opinion, but normally I would use a free barbell during a regular back workout for overall development, but specifically for back thickness, the Smith machine is great. And now it's time for another classic exercise, the Dumbbell Row. And most people make the mistake of doing way too heavy on this one, and I actually used to go heavier years ago, but obviously now that I'm more conscious of contracting the muscles, it's being much more beneficial to me. And the way that I'm rowing is I'm not just going up and down, but I actually am putting the dumbbell backwards a little towards my lower back, and this emphasizes the contraction. It does make the exercise more difficult, but remember, usually the more difficult you make an exercise, the more beneficial it will be. Those extra few inches on the bench press, that half a second extra of contracting your biceps in the long run, those little things add up and will make a difference. A famous Arnold exercise right here, the seated cable row, and right away you can see that I'm stretching very far, basically as far as I'm able to go, and this will target your spinal erector muscles when you get back up, which gives you a thicker lower back. But don't go too heavy when you use this range of motion though, and Arnold used to do this as well, and bodybuilders with unbelievable backs like Ronnie Coleman too. But also make sure to squeeze that back and don't overextend your back. You want to keep the tension right at your lower back. Now I want to finish off the back by doing some cable pullovers, and compared to the dumbbell pullovers, which I would absolutely do during a back width workout or any regular back workout, The cable version gives you more control over the squeeze in the lower portion of the back. So this exercise is to finish off the lower and middle portion of the back before we move over to the traps. Time to start some shrugs. This machine is pretty unique because it allows you to do a superset really efficiently. But if you don't have a machine like this, you can just as easily do it with a Smith machine. So first, we shrug the weight pretty much straight up, but make sure to squeeze your straps as well. But don't forget that very important stretch, and we combine this with shrugs behind the body. And the previous version was more of a trap height exercise, and this one is to build the thickness on the back itself. So this combination fills the entire trapezius muscles with blood and is a great way to target them in their entirety. But the stretch is something that most people do forget, but you can literally feel the traps pull on the bone if you do it right, which is a good sign if you want to tell that muscle to grow. So pick a heavy weight and let it stretch, but make sure you are able to actually go all the way up. But heavy on shrugs is always something that is very beneficial. We can't forget about the rear delts if we're talking about the complete back. So the rear delts, in my opinion, require a lot of volume and a specific range of motion. They are relatively small compared to the rest of your back, so you can't do heavy with them. The heavier you go, the more your traps and your lats will get involved, and that's why I choose a lightweight, do a lot of reps, and focus on the squeeze, making sure I'm filling up those rear delts with blood. And that was basically it for the back thickness workout. I added some extra exercises as you saw for the traps and rear delts, but I never finish a back workout without doing some biceps the golden era way. Starting off with one of Larry Scott's favorite exercises, the preacher curl. This puts more stress on the biceps compared to a regular barbell curl, and the close grip makes sure you hit your biceps in such an angle that the outer part gets targeted just a little more, and we want that because we want that classic golden era peak on our biceps. So don't go too heavy, focus on the contraction and stretch all the way down. Then another preacher exercise, this time focusing on each bicep individually. And this makes it easier to contract your bicep to the fullest. So when you go up, you supinate your wrists, aka turn it outwards, so that you contract that bicep as hard as you can. And again, going heavy would only get in the way of you getting a full range of motion. So just stick to light weights on isolation exercises like this. And mostly when people complain they are not going forward, they're not building muscle, is because they don't want to go backwards in weight to actually perform the exercise correctly. You can't really build on something that hasn't got a solid foundation. So the weight doesn't tell the whole story. It's what you do with it that counts. Another awesome exercise to finish off the biceps. Get a fairly close grip, contract as hard as you can, and make those biceps burn, guys. A great variation upon the regular exercises. But anyway, this was the full workout. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. I appreciate all the support I'm getting. I really like seeing that every day. a lot more videos coming your way, and always remember to stay golden.